Good morning. I'm just going to start the service with a little bit of a health warning. The wonderful couple I married yesterday let me know that they have COVID. I tested this morning. I don't have COVID, but maybe don't come close and no hugs for me today. So good morning. My name is Amanda Tarling. I'm so delighted to be leading this service. Our story is about the Flower Communion, which features, it was actually written by Norman Kopeck. He originally created this in 1923, and it's important and special because it's one of our only Unitarian rituals. So I love celebrating this every year. It was his widow, Reverend Maya Chopek, who actually introduced this ceremony to North America. The idea is that members of the congregation are each invited to bring a flower from their garden or plucked from the roadside. But I didn't feel okay about that. There's a couple of assumptions there. There's an assumption that you have a garden, and there's an assumption that it's okay to pluck roadside flowers, neither of which I am okay with. So I decided instead that I wanted to gift everyone a flower. My apologies to everyone on Zoom. I gift you a flower from my heart. I wanted to pick up flowers from a roadside stall, but that's a long story and it didn't happen. So these are from Thrifties. Thank you, Thrifties. The Flower Communion is an annual ritual that celebrates beauty, reminds us about loving diversity, and connects us as a community. In the information about the Flower Communion on the UUA website, that's the Unitarian Universalist Association, it suggests that the service leader or the minister blesses the flowers. What could I say to bless these exquisite flowers? They're so beautiful in their own right. And what is a Unitarian blessing? What does that look like? These flowers have been plucked for us to enjoy. Instead, I might wish to simply acknowledge their beauty. I am struck that these are perhaps the perfect metaphor for the climate disaster. We've been so greedy in our plundering of the beauty of the earth, its riches and resources, that now what we have taken, we're seeing things wither and die, like these beautiful flowers will eventually do. What is the magic of flowers? They seem to lift our spirits just by their very being. But what is it? Is it their fragrance, or by virtue of their beautiful colors, that we feel our hearts just lift when we see them? You know, I've officiated at weddings for 20 years, and not once, when there's been a bride, has the bride walked up the aisle without a bouquet of flowers. Memorials too. Flowers are ever present. We give flowers as gifts to people to cheer them up. We send flowers for important events when we can't be there. When a tragedy happens, we leave flowers. We left them at the synagogue when the Jewish graves in the Jewish cemetery were, graffiti was put on them when they were vandalized. We also left flowers at the mosque when there was the terrible mosque shooting in Quebec a number of years ago. So what will the flowers you are about to receive mean to you? Yes, it's a gift. It's a gift from me to you. It's to honor our faith, a Unitarian Universalist ritual. It's acknowledgement that spring is here and beauty abounds. But maybe there is an underlying, more sinister message, a reminder of the dire situation we are in with the climate disaster. Whatever you think when you receive your flower, I wish for you, and maybe this is where the blessing is. I hope this flower brings you solace, peace. May it remind you of love and joy. I have invited 4 people to deliver the flowers. I've asked Jan, Sarah, Kathy, and Lori, which might slightly be overkill, but it allows us time to decide, do you want to choose a flower, or would you prefer a flower is given to you? And while this lovely flower communion is happening, and perhaps we could also offer one to Jude in the hall and to Stephen, who will be playing, and to make sure everyone is covered. While the flower communion ritual ceremony is happening, Stephen is going to fill the room with some beautiful music. So if I could invite the 4 helpers forward, that would be wonderful. Thank you all, and thank you, Stephen.